What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Hugh Steph, and this is Billionaire Talk, the podcast. Um, so I got a topic today, right? I work with artists. I write with artists. I produce for artists. Produce for artists. If you don't know who I am or what I do, I'm a music producer, songwriter, recording engineer. I also mix and master, amongst many other things. So I've noticed when I work with artists, they tend to strive for perfection. And I know early on that's what we were taught that we should do. But, I just realized that I just realized the perception of perfection, it's in here. It's all in here. Think about it. You wake up every day wanting to be the best, or you wake up every day wanting to be better than who you were yesterday, or even today. And they say when you do the same thing over and over, it's insane, right? And people do whatever it is that they need to do to become perfect every day. It's like this thing, whether they want to look perfect, sound perfect. And I don't know, man. I think for myself, I realized you could drive yourself crazy. So how all that translates to music, and this is just my personal, thoughts from just working with people. I don't think that as the artist, we should focus on perfection. If you take a look at today's music, half the time it's not even about your talent. It's about what you can do to make this person money, or, if you're signed to a label or whatever. It's about a gimmick. It's about something trendy. And of course, there's always going to be people who appreciate great quality music. I'm one of them. Hello. But I think we just have to recognize where we are today musically. There's who got the song? Is it Take Keith? Or I can't remember, but it's certain songs that are like gold and maybe even platinum that aren't even mixed, and they're on the radio getting radio play. And that should tell you something. You know what it tells me? It tells me if you're putting out music, you have to put out something that's marketable and something that's good. And another thing, someone else may not see perfection the same way you see perfection. I learned that with my beats. I got beats that I don't like at all. I literally have I have a folder on my hard drive called fart files, right? Never see the light of day again. I've tiptoed in there. And believe it or not, there's people that actually like those beats and want them. And I realized, I was like, you know what? I'm not the one buying the beat or doing a song to it. It's the consumer or the artist. So who am I to take away a vibe from someone else that sees something in this that I don't see? Now, I know what you're going to say. It's like, well, what you just said, doesn't that kind of go against the whole notion of what perfection is? No, it doesn't go against it, because my point of working with artists is I want you to, because number one, you're paying for my time, right? Or excuse me, you're paying for your time and my time in hopes that by the time you're finished with me in the studio, you leave with a solid record. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope record. It's a good record. Excuse me, let me adjust my screen, make sure that, okay. By the time you leave the studio with me, you want to make sure that you have a solid record. Or if it's going to be one of those records where it's done in stages, then at least our first meet, let's lay the foundation down. Now, why are we looking for perfection if we're just laying down the foundation or laying down the skeletons, as I like to call it? And of course, and by no means am I saying don't give it your all. I think you should give it your all in everything you do. But I do think the need to be perfect, I think that's a bit of a reach nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you two examples. So the song, which I hope you've heard it, but the song that me and Jay Mello did called "You and Your Best Friend," it's out now on all platforms. We wrote it together. I produced it. I recorded it, mixed it, and it's got crazy feedback. Like people rocks with it, like really rock with it. And we didn't second guess it or nothing. We actually knocked it out in 2 hours. The second song that me and Sanaj got together, "Peaches in the Garden," knocked that out in 2.5 hours. She wrote it, I produced it, and I recorded it. And it's not about perfect. It's about what sounds good and what can sell. And I always tell artists this: you're not going to be the person buying your music 1,000,000 times. It's the consumer. And they're going to hear and take in the music differently from how you want it to or intend for it to be. You just got to put it out. Put the music out. Let the consumer decide. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen anyway. You about to spend all this time, like months on end, like, oh man, the record ain't ready. They ain't ready. It's just sitting on the record. Meanwhile, you know, by the time you put it out because you made 1 or 2 changes or 3 changes or whatever, studied it 1,000,000 times, it's going to be the same impact because you got to realize the consumer doesn't have the same mindset as the creative. And I say that respectfully because they're looking to enjoy the record and relate to it. You, the creator, you're looking to make it sonically best as possible for someone else to enjoy. Whether that's radio, whether that's streaming platform, whether that's movies, whether, you know what I'm saying? That's what the creator should focus on. So yeah, man, we get too caught up in like trying to be perfect, and it's not about that anymore. Like the song, who are you competing against? The songs on the radio, the songs on the radio, what do they have in common? And I'll even go to say like, and again, this is just me listening to other songs, admiring other artists' art. Some songs do sound perfect. And it, it may be a certain pocket that vocally the artist is in throughout the whole song. The beat may be, the beat's always going to be. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's just how I feel listening to someone else's music. But you know what? If it sounds good, I'm going to give it a listen. And I'll probably add it to my playlist and listen to it again. I'll probably even like it so much that I'll do a remix to it, like a Jersey Club remix or whatever, put my spin to it. We have to start treating this like time is money, because time is money. And I don't know if I made my point before, but going back, you come in here with me, you book let's just say a 3-4 hour session. At my rate, you want to leave with something finished or close to finished. And not to say that I'm out here trying to like take people's money and all this other stuff, but I don't want people to get so caught up in here where perfection lives that you miss out on what we can do in 4 hours with multiple songs. I've had those sessions. Like there's some guys in here that can knock out 5 songs in 3 hours, or one song per hour. And it's not about time. It's not about time at all, necessarily. But I think time should be considered, especially when you're paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Because either way, I'm going to deliver. But the other problem with spending too long on a record is, you tend to get mentally fatigued. At least I do. I get mentally fatigued after a while. And at that point, you just got to take a breather and come back to it. And at that point, you're spending way too long on a song. It happens. But again, you want to practice good habits. You don't want to continue practicing old habits. You want to pick up new habits that are good. Things that are going to make you sound better and feel more confident about the music you're putting out. That's what it's about. And you can't do that just being stuck on the same old method of, the same old approach to your music. Can't do it. Can't do it. So yeah, man, that's my spill on perfection. Let me know how you approach sessions as an artist. Let me know your feedback, or even if you're listening as a consumer, let me know if you agree with what I said, if you disagree. Engineers, songwriters, share with me, in response to this video, like, how do you feel about what I'm saying? Or what's your experience as also a creator working with other creators? Because everybody's got a foot in this and everybody's, going to walk a different path, or, you know what I'm saying? But share with me, you know what I'm saying? This is the platform to do that. Once again, this your boy Hugh Stuff. And please, if you are rocking with what I'm doing, like, comment, subscribe for YouTube. As far as Instagram, well, shit, this is just gonna be a clip. But yeah, do all that good stuff. Share this. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell another friend. And yeah, man, let's get this content out here because I want everyone to win. I genuinely do. It's your boy, Hugh.